Well, I was going to say maybe time, or close to time, for me and Paul to go on with our lives together. It may be safe enough, maybe time, it may be his choice. I don't know. But I know he's here all the time. He often comforts me when I sleep. And 2 nights in a row I've smelled his cigarette breath in my face. Which is different from my cigarette breath, because I don't smell mine unless I do this. But I've smelled his cigarette breath in my face, so he started smoking if he wasn't a smoker before. And who can blame him? So, except for me still thinking about things that make me ill, it has been quite a bit better around here. I've had enough silence, no demon shit in my ears, that I've slept without TV and music a couple of times. I've just enjoyed the silence with no music, talking to God on video. I've actually had a couple of moments to think, to get spacey, to zone out. I can't tell you how much that means to me. I haven't been able to zone out and have my own thoughts for a very long fucking time. And God has assured me many times that this is, and has been, the easiest way for me to get through this. All this horror shit. And I believe him and I trust him. And I wouldn't want to do it anyway but his way. Though it has been pretty fucking horrible. I may have made a friend today, which I need. I need support. Kind of looks like I have. I listened to the John Denver song "Follow Me," where I go. Follow me, where I go. What I do and who I know. Make it part of you to be a part of me. Follow me up and down, all the way and all around. Take my hand and say you'll follow me, and I have. And I do, and I accept God's guidance and His comfort. And I have since I was 21 years old. And He hasn't let me down yet. But I must say this has been a very unpleasant experience for me, not considering the childhood, which I mostly don't remember, the nighttime part. So, we revisited infancy, which in a large sun was a little sliver of pie, like this, and a large sun. We had to revisit that several times. Thought we were finished with it, and then we had to go back. But ascend, descend. The Pistis Sophia is all about ascend, descend, ascend, descend. In fact, I read it was so fucking depressing. I don't want to read it anymore. Turns out I am the Pistis Sophia, and I have been ascending and descending for a long fucking time, and it's pretty fucking horrible. So, follow me all around, up and down. Take my hand and say you'll follow me, so God's been with me. Even when I haven't been able to perceive His presence, He assures me He's been with me. So, Satanists have made sure I have felt intimidated by Paul because they've been actually able to invade, well, in a facsimile sense, invade and create emotions in me that I didn't feel. Because I was never intimidated by Paul. I respected him very, very much, which is different than intimidation. I remember listening to Donna Walden Books talking back to him one day, and I said to him telepathically, shit, I would never talk to you that way. Never. Some people don't know who to fear. I do. You fear the tender-hearted because anybody who oppresses them comes to a bad end. And I respected Paul more than any person I ever met. Just pure respect. I almost always felt good and safe around him. One time he was a little hurtful, actually 2 times. I think that was probably purposeful too. He flirted with a girl once. I was fucking mad about it. Right in front of me. But that was representative of what all the men I'd been involved with had done to me. Accepted the attentions of other women right in front of me. Very insulting. So I assumed that was also purposeful. I was mad. I didn't like it. I don't like it at all. I was jealous. But mostly angry. I mean, you would do that in front of me. He had no right. But I have experienced injuries at his hand with his life force, seeing it in the astral plane. He cashed in a heart song string on me once. And I said to myself, what does it take for a man to kill a heartstring and throw it at me? And I felt it right in my sternum, and it hurt like a motherfucker that he would bastardize that beautiful heart song. It was beyond comprehension. Another injury is one which was quite physical, and not physical violence, but emotional violence that caused me a significant injury that I understood almost right away. Was the re-injury of an old injury in order for that injury to heal. So I couldn't hate him. It was so fucking painful to watch what he did. It's hard to list one painful thing more than another painful thing. I have to say what hurt me more than anything at any time in my life I can remember is feeling a deep longing for him. He was in my room. I felt such a longing. It hurt like a motherfucker. I don't want to experience that again. And he's been pretty generous about that. He's experienced some longing himself, I think. He's kind of communicated that to me. But he hasn't made me experience that too much because I told him, I can't do that, that's too painful. And one of the things I've asked to happen to Satanists when I've been really upset and really trying to fight back is that they experience profound longing for me and for Paul. Forever and ever. Because it's a painful fucking thing. It has the potential to make a hole in your heart. So I would say at God's hands, Satanists are paying pretty heavy prices for the things that they've done. What I would say. And the Bible says, God strike to the heart for this monstrous insult preferred against you. Strike to the heart. And I think he has done that. Because for the most part, Satanists have found affection for me. Because I'm not a princess or any of the things in our wildest imaginations they could say about me. I'm none of those things. And it's hard to believe they didn't know that about me because I was a quiet, cooperative, friendly person. I don't know how they perceived that I was a secret snob or something, because I wasn't. Or a secret racist, because I wasn't. They have looked under rocks for flaws for me. They've accused me of things it would never even occur to me to do or to think. And I have been on trial by Satanists. And I'm the Holy Spirit of God, who shouldn't be on trial by anybody. But that's the way this ball is bounced. And right now I just want to find myself back comforted by God and to get out of all this thinking, because it's a lot. The Bible says that the children of God are to love, to trust, and to endure whatever comes. And I have been mocked viciously by Satanists for trusting people who just come into my life who seem very nice. And I try to be a good and loyal friend with boundaries for people who work here as my home health aides. But a friend nonetheless. I guess I'm pretty important in the big scheme of things. I'm kind of living out a very little scheme right now. A small life in a small studio apartment, which I like. That sort of thing. I have a hard time trusting people. I trust, but I don't trust in my heart a lot. I trusted my son because I watched him grow up and I knew what made him tick. And that is not true for people I met as adults. After my experience with Donna, Harry, and Dino, it's like adults you thought you knew could turn and show you a side of themselves you didn't even fucking suspect. So adults have always been a question for me. What makes them tick and when are they going to turn on a dime or something? It's like, you know, I don't know. I'm ready for that part of my life to be over. I'm truly ready. And God's gonna have to protect me until I'm with him. And then he'll protect me all the time, because I ain't never leaving his side unless he makes me. Knowing him, he might. I don't know. It took me, well, I don't know if Satanists or angels. It's hard to know who's who around here. I never had a clue. I never figured out. You're gonna laugh. I said in my heart, I was watching Paul, I was at work, I was on one side of the counter, he was on the inside of the counter. I believe that's how it was, and I thought, I just want to be within 6 feet of that man, in that circle around him of 6 feet diameter, or radius or something. It's within 6 feet of that man to feel that peace forever and ever, because it was the most peaceful feeling to be in his 6 foot vicinity. You know, I didn't care if he loved me or married me or liked me or hired me. I just wanted to be in that 6 foot zone. And then it was like a year and a half after this COVID thing started that it was pointed out to me that we have to keep social distance of 6 feet from people. And then he said that was because of me and Paul. Because that's all I wanted, was to be within 6 feet of him and feel that peace. And that was where they came up with the 6 foot social distancing, and I never even suspected it. I never even suspected it. It just never entered my mind that there would be a connection between those two things. But, you know, this paradigm has been obsessively important to some people, as far as I can tell, in this town, and in the astral plane, and in the country, and maybe in the world. I don't know, you'd think a female deity would be a curiosity or a welcome thing, or a welcome curiosity, or at least a curiosity. But I'm more like those half-dead aliens who crash at Roswell. They just autopsy while they're fucking alive. Which is what they've done to me. They're not good with visitors. They want to protect their power and their money. As far as I can tell, none of them get satisfaction from either of those things in their lives. Including Bezos and Zuckerman and, you know, really super rich people. As far as I can tell, they don't enjoy their lives or their wealth. They work to acquire more power. So they work and work and work to keep the things in their lives, like money and material goods, that they don't value and do not make them happy. When my thing is, real friendship can bring real happiness. You know, if you're a real brother or sister or friend to somebody. And I must say, my experience with Paul is real friend. Real brother-sister friend. And it has stood. It has stood. So, that's my experience. It's getting close to the witching hour, which is 3:15. I used to wake up every night at 3:15. And sometimes I'd stay up till 5 in the morning to see daylight, to keep a vigil in the night. Especially on dates I knew were important satanic dates. And sometimes lately, I've slept through the witching hours now. And I don't know all of their significant dates. Last evening was the eve of the 25th. And today is the 25th of August, and I don't know if it's significant or not. So, with any luck, I'll make this my last public video of the night.